let us see the facilitator's face well before we share the screen. So this is Reverend Dr. Samuel Ayete-Nyampong. It's been a blessing to the Presbytery, North America, Australia Presbytery very well. And to those of you who have not met him, you have to pray to meet him. He's such a father, such a mentor, and he's a Caleb of our generation. He encourages so well. And today we're here with him to see how best we could resolve conflict in our community, in our church, and the country where we find ourselves. So please, if you are watching us on YouTube, kindly watch to the end, and you appreciate the message very well. Papa, Dr. Ayete-Nyampong, you are most welcome.
God bless you too.
God bless you. God bless you. So we're going to share the screen. Yes, please, Baba.
Okay. Just a moment.
Yes, please.
Sorry. I'm just trying to locate. Okay, the file.
The share is beneath.
Yes. I'm just.
All right. So people, as Papa tries to locate the I'm sure you got the assignment that he gave you, and then the presentations that I sent to you. I'm sure each one of you got it. And for the assignment, I'm also aware that you are working on. And so if the submission time is due, please make sure you bring it and then take the rest of your marks. All right. So when were you asked to bring the assignment?
I think, well, I was expecting something today, and I don't know whether they have brought it.
Okay. Papa, personally, I didn't really understand it as we had to write and bring it. You said we're gonna discuss it here.
Okay. Okay, so you have your point. Once you have prepared, that will help with the discussion. Papa, I'm trying to, with the updated this is
yes
a bit difficult for
yes,
me.
Papa, it's true. The same thing that I'm experiencing this week. I also updated my laptop, and Papa, it's been hell the whole week. Once you update, they change a lot of things. Yeah. So it's serious. I understand what you're going through. Yeah, I understand what you're going through. The updated ones change everything.
Otherwise, I will can still go ahead and I will see how to sort this out. So, brothers and sisters, I think we will go ahead. You already have the notes, and I also have the PowerPoint version on my phone. So we wouldn't waste any more time. We'll just go ahead. I just want to again remind you that we have discussed what conflict is. That conflict is a clash of culture or ideas or disagreement or even feelings. And this can happen to anybody at any time. Conflict is part of our daily living. And so we need to master the skills in handling conflict, because you may disagree with even your spouse, with your children on many issues at the workplace, but that does not mean there should be a fight. The fact that there's a disagreement means that there's the potential for conflict to erupt, but we need to have the skill, the mastery over resolution methods in order to avoid open conflict, which sometimes leads to violence, destruction of life, and property. We also have looked at the potential of conflict. I'm just by way of summary. Potential of conflict means that if conflict is resolved well, it has benefits to society. And we discussed how even modern technology has evolved out of the World War, the technology used to destroy the world or fight and kill the enemy. In peacetime, we have redeveloped that technology for civilian use. Now, aircrafts that used to fly to drop bombs, now those aircrafts have been expanded into civilian commercial aircraft being used to carry passengers across continents, and many, many more, many, many more. But when conflict is not resolved well, then it can lead to many, many negative consequences. It diverts people from dealing with real issues. It creates feelings of dissatisfaction. It creates pain, leads to violence, strain in human relationship, and even non-cooperation. We've looked at all that. And last week, we looked at the types and sources of conflict. And we said that we have different types of conflicts: intrapersonal, interpersonal, group conflict, intergroup conflict. All these we explained that intra is conflict within the person. That is one person inside you. Inter, between two persons. Group, within persons within one identified group. And then we have the intergroup. And then we also discussed, before we closed last week, the sources of conflict. And I explained that we have three main sources. Who can name one of the sources of conflict? One source.
Resource.
About conflict over resources.
Okay, conflict over resources. Who can explain to us what conflict over resources is?
Can we say simply about properties?
Okay, examples, please.
Like a building, a house?
Yes, okay. Thank you very much. So property, physical property, things that you can touch, you can hold, that you can possess. So many conflicts around the world are centered on resources, border dispute, even water. Some countries fight over water. I know the Nile flows from Egypt through Sudan, and sometimes I've been to the Blue Nile in South Sudan, and sometimes there's conflict. And even in Ghana with the Volta River, anytime Burkina Faso, they open their dams or they construct a new dam, the Ghanaians complain. So it can even fight over such water resources and others. What is the next source of conflict that you remember?
For psychological needs.
Yes, psychological needs. And we said that psychological needs includes what and what, please?
Power.
Power. What kind of power are you talking about? When you say power, what kind of power?
Well, we can say power to rule or power to manage.
Okay, power to rule or power to manage. Any other example? Any other example?
We can also talk about positions.
Please, what?
Positions.
Come again.
As in, I'm given a position.
Okay, positions, yes. Position, yes. What kind of position?
Managerial positions, let's say typically in an organization or in an institution.
Okay, that's fine. So positions in politics, position at the workplace, position, even traditional positions. And what are the major traditional positions that cause conflict?
Kingship.
Papa, chieftaincy.
Yes, chieftaincy. In Ghana, we don't have kingship. Well, we use the word kingship, but we don't have kings. Kingship refers to family, tribes and other things, but chieftaincy disputes is rampant in Ghana. Good. What is the next source of conflict, if you remember?
But conflict over values.
Okay. What can someone help us to understand what conflict over values are? Conflict over values.
When we talk
Our
about
belief systems.
conflict over values as being the belief systems, the moral cherishment, what somebody cherishes in their as part of their morality, as part of their religion, and trying to change someone to adapt your way of life, your religion, and your belief system. It usually results in a conflict over values.
Okay, that's good. So religion, ideology, philosophy, life, that which you live by, that you are ready to even die for it. And we explained that looking at the three levels, one is easy to resolve than this next one, and the next one is a bit easier than the last one. Which one is more difficult to resolve?
Values.
Conflict over values.
Good. Why is it more difficult to resolve? Can someone help, please?
I didn't hear the answer though.
Why is conflict over values more difficult to resolve than the other two?
Well, because it based on belief systems and very difficult to resolve because most of the beliefs you are born into it and it's the basis of your life. For instance, as Christians, we are born into it and we believe in Jesus Christ. So once someone wants to bring his or believe you to believe in that, especially like a Muslim, it will be difficult for you to just accept that. That's why it's difficult to believe in the values.
Yes. Okay. So because it is something that you live for or by, that defines the meaning of life for you. You are not ready to give up. In fact, even if you should die for it, you'll be ready to die. So it becomes very, very difficult to resolve conflict around religion or conflict around philosophy or philosophy or ideology. Do you think you can easily convert Democrats to become Republicans? If you give, the die-hard one, therefore, there are many people who may call themselves Republicans. In fact, in Ghana, it's like Ghana politics. You'll be MPP. If someone comes sharing sardine and kinky, immediately you shift to the next one. I don't think in America that's what happened. But a die-hard Democrat, you said Trump is a Democrat or Republican?
Republican.
Yes. Die-hard Republican, even if Trump insults everybody, he will still vote for Republican Party. There are some who believe in certain ideologies, philosophies, or religious values that they are not ready to give up. Even if you should kill them, they will say, here we stand. You better kill me. I will not change my mind. And some of the Greek philosophers were executed and they were not ready to change their mind on some issues that brought about the condemnation. So religion, something that is centered around religion and ideology is very, very, very difficult to resolve. What is the next difficult one to resolve after values?
Psychological need.
Psychological needs. Why is it more difficult than resources?
Because with the psychological needs, we cannot see them, but with the resources, there are things we can easily see. So that makes the psychological needs more conflict more difficult to solve as compared to conflict over resources.
Okay, that is one. Thank you very much. Can someone also why
Well,
psychological needs?
I would take it from the point of view of Abraham Maslow's theory of needs. And according to that, the basic needs are essential, but the psychological, physiological needs are higher needs of the basic. So it means once you have food, water, and shelter, probably you are looking at acquiring positions or roles in higher level. So it's very difficult to resolve the basic ones than ones.
Okay. So according to that same theory, it is difficult to resolve the emotional needs than the other ones that you mentioned. Yeah. So for example, you have a wife, someone has come wanting to take the wife away. It will be fighting for death. You wouldn't mind fighting till even you die, or something that is you cherish so much and you have an attachment. You see, for example, a position that you think that I am supposed to be the chief. It's difficult for you to give up. But if a proper conflict resolution process is set in motion, you can easily say, oh, why should my people fight over this and kill the other party? Let's allow them. Heaven. You can easily resolve it, but you cannot say, oh, Christianity, I will stop being a Christian. You say, no, for this one, it's life and death, because Christianity, it will identify you before the throne of God, and you will not want to give up. But psychological needs like power, influence, love, you can easily give up more than the value, things that has to do with religion. And then the one that is easier to resolve is the resources. I'm not saying it is easy to just give up your land or your house or your car. For example, if you have a nice house or a nice car and someone wants to dispute with you on the property right, that he has the right to acquire that land, you fight over it in court for a long time. So maybe you may be advised by your lawyer, or maybe your pastor will say, or you say to yourself, Radine Makasa, I want you to have a firm understanding of these three levels, how to resolve issues, because we are moving on to conflict handling tools. Do you have your notes with you? I sent some notes. Did you receive it?
Well, I think we have them up to the source of conflict.
Okay, good. So we are moving on to a new level, and now we are gradually entering into the practical side of resolving conflict. So the earlier ones were the theoretical, principles underlying the whole subject area of conflict resolution. Now we move into conflict handling tools. I will want to explain, you can write down some few points. You will have the notes. You will have the notes. I am having difficulty projecting because I've updated my computer, and I think I need to do a few more things to make it accept notes that are on desktop. So forgive me if I'm not able to project. But the first conflict handling tool we want to discuss is called negotiation. Negotiation. And I would like to explain. It is a process whereby conflicting parties communicate back and forth in order to reach an acceptable agreement. So this one, it is two parties fighting over land, and they meet from time to time, they talk from time to time in order to reach an amicable agreement. They do not depend on an external person to help them resolve the conflict. So this is the only difference. The two fighting parties meet from time to time around the table to discuss their differences and to try to resolve the issue. And at this point, they have not invited any external third party to help them resolve. It is the two sides. In negotiation, the two sides, this group, they will set a time, they will meet this group at an appointed time. The representative of this group will meet this group and negotiate on the issue to find a solution. There is no third party involved. I want you to take note of that. These are terms that you come across. Anyone who is a conflict specialist will definitely mention negotiation, this. But I want you to understand is when two parties are in conflict and they among themselves try to sit down to talk and to find a solution without inviting any third party, any lawyer, any official to come in. That is negotiation. The next one is conciliation. Reconciliation, remove the RE, conciliation. It is the process in which a third party tries to help the parties in conflict to agree to a common way to resolve the conflict. And the first one, the two parties were meeting, no extent a third party or external force be involved. But with conciliation, a third party tries to bring the two sides together to sit and resolve their conflict. So the third party moves back and forth between the parties until the parties agree to meet face to face. And only conciliation. And the difference with the first one, negotiation, is the two conflicting areas in Asia. But this one, a third party, because definitely we are angry with that group. That group is angry with us. So they will not come to our side to sit down and talk with us. There should be a third party who will go and talk with the chief and then come and report to us and say, oh, the chief, they have agreed, say Wednesday, they will want to meet with you, but they will not come to your side. They want a neutral place, maybe the nearby school or the classroom, in SDA classroom, or the Pentecost chapel, until the third party tries to work between the two and bring them together. That is what we mean by the conciliation. Are you clear? What's the difference between negotiation and conciliation? Because as a multi-point, you need to understand these points, these technical words.
So, negotiation, if say, typically, Obani or Okunu Enya Sem na Omi no Matana Se na Omaka Masem, Tie Anko Ubiaho, Papa or you know, Omodio Masem, and Tiasia Ba, and Omasia Tenasi. But when it comes to conciliation, Papa ni or Irenya Sem, but where there is also Fubum, and Ti also Fubum, also for Ababe and Tem Jinafo, and the Omomo, Boa, Atoto, and Yama, Ama and Tiasi, to me a
Okay, that is good. So, we're taking the Osofo Abemuno as coming in between maybe two parties that are in conflict that will not, under normal circumstances, want to see each other, to see or to sit face to face with each other. But then an intermediary, a third party, comes in. The next one is called mediation. Mediation is an enabling process in which a third party facilitates the negotiation between the conflicting parties. Nyamano edu baby ana eya confusing. Tina may talk me boas to explain to you. Actually, you know, you have the notes, so you read over. Is this one a third party facilitates the negotiation between the conflicting parties? A third party tries to facilitate the negotiation process between the two parties. Maybe you can't say negotiation, two people, two groups, mushia without a third party. Some can be wrong.
Yeah.
But the moment they invite a third party to come and help facilitate the negotiation, instead of Obani or Beman don't be invited. A third party said, Brabe Boyan, na yet negotiation, that becomes a mediation. They say you may not understand everything. There are technical terms. By you can reflect on it and easily understand. Until we started with negotiation where the two parties meet face to face without any intermediary, any third party. But the moment in the negotiation, a third party steps in to promote the negotiation, it becomes mediation. The next one.
What is a clear difference between mediation and conciliation? Because the conciliation to third party steps in, and mediation to there is a third party. So
yes, we can say negotiation, when the two communicate back and forth in order to reach an acceptable agreement. They don't depend on an external person. And in negotiation, they're trying to reach an agreement without any help. But the moment in trying to reach an agreement, they invite a third party, that becomes mediation to reach an agreement. But in conciliation, a third party helps to bring the two sides to meet face to face.
Okay.
Because then but the process of bringing them so that they can meet face to face, any conciliation. Back when they meet and come to an agreement. But when the process of letting the two die-hard enemies to meet face to face, any conciliation.
Give up.
Agreement. But the first one, to come to an agreement to resolve the conflict. But when they invite a third party to help us to meet, to come to an agreement, that becomes mediation. Conciliation, a third party is involved, tries to facilitate the face-to-face meeting. As to whether there will be agreement or not, Once I watch me do one to sit around the table, no, we in a juma for conciliation. Yo, thank you very much. Yo, and that is that. Your negotiation, conciliation, your mediation. When the third party is involved in bringing the two to meet to reach an agreement and mediation. The next technical term is arbitration. arbitration, arbitration. Now, no, I'm explaining. It is a process whereby one of the parties, with the Muntian and natural more understanding, it's a process whereby one of the parties invite a third party to help find a solution to the conflict he or she has with another person. The other party must agree to the arbitrator. And the role of the disputant is to tell their stories to the arbitrator, the third party. And the third party then makes a decision which the parties may or may not accept. Although the parties usually make a commitment to accept the arbitrator's decision before the process begins. And in this situation, if I said, the two people will not want to meet face to face. But one of them went to inform his osofo or catechist. So many osemesi your conflict be. My friend now on family call. Yeshi krom pese ibishia kra na yaka assassin asem. No so okay. Any metimi edi wanim ni akọ so metimi atena se na yaka asem na. Enti osofo no kokọ bonkrofo na mane se osemesi abọ mamane se onimo wo ntokwa na Majina mu se me pese mi siesie. Mo be pene so se mi ngina mu na mi siesie mu mienu ntemu ana. Enti ho no the other group no se enyom no mkofa asofo no. Ese se omo pene so se sofo ya judi o de we nyame nipa. Enim se waba mu yi. Obetimi aboa ya me solve problem no. Enti both sides agree to the arbitrator ni intervention. Na watie wo nsem no so afede mommo munkure wo den wo yesa unso den na wo yesa owie a what decide say bitie mo nsem no me who said the land actually belongs to Mr. A and to Mr. B jamuna enka because utie mu a Mr. B and Mr. A in assassin any dia. And when he takes that decision, they are supposed to agree. But the Torah one side debating can say, no, suffer can no bribe, Yamangrofuna and Hunu no mama no bribe. Medibeko court. Medibeko court. Mean Tien your suffer no canon. Maybe I now only momentin what should die crude, a diama. And the third party, who becomes an arbitrator, he tries to resolve the conflict and takes a decision or comes out with a verdict. So me tie mono any problem no. Na me who say assassin no ye way dia. Enti mesra mo munje mo fama osemesi. Omo betimi aje mu. But ni anebo enju no obetimi now e dia court. Or the court a ho ne friend litigation. Litigation, they are type litigants. It means a public process of conflict resolution in which a third party recognized and with authority from society or the state decides the issues in the conflict, makes a decision on the conflict, and enforces the decision. And the parties are made powerless and they lose control of the conflict once they invite this third party, and now said the representative of the state, to now help them to solve. Until when the NHS do a community be or hokra some will be conflict or be or you see alternative conflict resolution expert. He can take a decision and it should be binding. Into when the NHS acquire Into what Timika said, may shape me tea, maybe a local court and a high court. Assassin belongs to way. Until Danya Wesi was no Munko Bubu, Namunfa assassin my way. Until with the permission of the court, Bohonia the bulldozer, a court assassin, Sunia Kobubu, our police for a general support to. And no, just said there has been a litigation and a court or more authority, and as a judge or war authority from the state has ruled on the case and taken a decision, and it should be enforced. And these are the different methods. You may be coming across that from time to time. Negotiation. Two parties move up and down to solve their own problem. Reconciliation. A third party tries to bring the two parties to meet face to face. Mediation. When a third party helps in the negotiation so that a final solution is found. That's mediation. Arbitration. When one party invites a third, one of the conflicting parties, or invite a third party who is also acceptable to the other group, to help resolve the conflict. And to enable to resolve. Now we're sides now we're making a decision. And usually, a handful that plays a role. No pa. Obi was someone now a couple or hina money. I saw a cost samana or hini. Someone to say a samana more hini.
Yeah.
A cost samana no amo hini. No hina fret the other side. No. She says a mina way there, but Bonkuro means to mean here. No way so I can dear. No, he said, me nice as so. A same way, me who said, assassin belong to Openhin Kojo. And the Openhin Boachi. Kegain Fapata Openhin Kojo said, Ukose Ninyama wo Nefum. Now that's the arbitration. But Esan said, on any the authority of the state, any police form be enforced, So Openhin Boachi Ebon Jonah, obey me a pejadi a court. Said on him did the announcement Minjin Tum Min Chogan Minjin Tum tell me default. And no they are called Abayemu. Now for there will be a buying appointing with authority of the state, a decided final or this idea no enforce the ruling. Indeed, these are the processes. Now it has international dimension. The arbitration is a bit International Court of Justice. UN courts, human rights courts, near there, and every local, it means international. And a mediation, so a third party, who is bringing about negotiation, could be people from that same area or from outside. Make I say, Tama, Mugabe. Or what power OCZ lands, all the opposition parties, they met, including some of the white farmers, and wanted to meet with the government to talk about the suppression and ECOSO, and they said OCZ in Sasini Yamanyaman. Until they invited Professor Atifa, only National Identification Authority, the CEO, the Executive Director or Executive Secretary. And me, the two of us went to Zimbabwe to meet with the opposition party in order to work out a system to be able to discuss with government. There was a government representative who also was at the meeting. And we were sharing Ghana's national reconciliation process and to resolve this process of oppression in Ghana. We shared our stories with them. The first day we met in Harare Hotel, ambassadors diplomats, were all invited. It was a big meeting. Because now they were welcoming us. It's like we were external third parties coming to share our stories to help promote the negotiation among the different parties. And for me, it was a great experience for me. And here were different levels. We have regional mediation processes, we have international, we have national, we have even alternative dispute resolution aspect. Never be over, and maybe be an court, almost so much me a handle, and then they have power to enforce the ruling. And I will get you the notes. Go over it. One here say confusing, but what chance now say easy. One, there's no third party in negotiation. When a third party comes in negotiation, it becomes mediation. One, arbitration. Arbitration, when a third party is invited and he decides, having listened to the stories, or decided on where the case should go, or decided the two should abide, but they may decide not to abide because the third party may not have the law behind him. That is how it is. Easy to understand. Because I'm bringing this up because you are conflict resolution experts. You are training, and you will come across these terms, and you may be invited to be the third party in a negotiation between a man and his wife, or this family and this family. And as I said, Munyati concept here, it is easy. Next week when we meet, we will look at now resolving conflict. The processes restoration of conflict, and what others have said about it. And only next week, but I want you to understand these technical terms used at national level, international level, church level, wherever conflict is being resolved. These terminologies are used. Next week, we are going in straight into the techniques of resolving conflicts. Any question so far?
Yeah, but I just want a bit of clarification here. I think Uberiano can say with negotiation, we know say there is no third party involved in negotiation. And you made mention say once a third party comes in an mediation. Yes, I'm saying who say with conciliation, we also know say with conciliation there is a third party. But if I understand it right, the third party's role is just to try to bring the two parties who are in conflict, just to bring them together for them themselves to sit and to make resolution. But the third party, he doesn't form part of the conflict resolution, but he just tried to bring them together. Now, okay.
Someone himself, it was not easy for Trump to just board his aircraft and travel to North Korea, say Okushia, a North Korea leader, no more Atlantic. Definitely, someone will have to, some diplomatic work had to go on for a long time to be able to talk to this. Oh, say it is safe even to come. When it is safe, we'll provide all the necessary security. The mobile, it gives you opportunity to talk about your differences, about sanctions that have been imposed on. And some people have to work behind the scene. But Omushia face to face, and yet the president of the United States and North Korea talking face to face.
That's right.
By Georgia. That's right. And yet the third party, obisa one question. Now Trump, I don't know, also North Korea, I don't know. No. two no na ekasa. We are almost shaking hands, no more chicha photos. They say Trump has met with North Korea, but someone, a third party, be underground how to work to bring the two together. Any other question? Obu, a question be another. Okay. Edano memamo assignment be one. Me can see a bit discuss. Mokai, set Mokai. Assignment. Okay, dear. But you're not a question here then.
But I see we should give two examples each of conflict over resources, conflict over psychological needs, and conflict over values.
Okay. Remember, Obia can just two examples be on one each of or choose one of the three. Number or two examples, not just what we would. Yes. And I read in which I can two examples be.
Question
okay.
Are we just stating the, for instance, if it is a conflict over resources, are we just saying maybe land dispute, or we have to explain what it means by saying land dispute?
You can even say land dispute, but someone may not understand what you mean by land dispute.
Okay.
And to wait, like I said, land dispute, which means when a person takes somebody's so and so or so and so, but just mention land dispute, Nkwa will not give you the full mark. But explain what you mean by land dispute. Why?
Baba, and Sena Edos, we say, will be a far two actually. I say,
okay.
Okay, Baba, a conflict of resources. Mine is determining a paternity of maybe a husband and a wife becomes, there is a conflict over a paternity of one of their children, and it is an issue. Okay. And this can be resolved by having a DNA test of the child to actually determine who is the father of that particular child.
Okay.
Thank you, Baba.
Yo, Medasipa, but do you think that it will be under resources, property?
Yeah. Baba, the child can be, how do I say it?
Property.
As a human resource, the child can be seen, and the issue can be resolved physically.
Oh yes, it can be resolved. Say, and yeah, conflict over psychological needs, so you're resolving physically. Wait, now how we resort. I did a far down. Now, obese fan say, me ba ma won't know. Oh, don't you see any emotions attached? Do you see
yes,
property? Oh, wait there. I'll say I need a yenchemu back over from the back.
King Solomon.
King Solomon, dear. Well, King Solomon, he knew about psychological needs.
Yeah.
And he said psychological needs, and yet unfair. Or see, I need their unfair because to share, no. Not just say, who treating us say resources. But what you say? And in your own the true mother, no. Or the treating is resources. Or the chemu na or him the only or shenia or what the psychological emotional connection to prove that I don't know and your resource a psychological. And the way on the opposite. Treat it as a resource and divide into two. Now, on main fan and nine on fan and son, or no, your force. And when it comes to children, it's different from a car or land. car or land is, though you have emotional attached, kakra, but with the and you have emotion. Well, and no, psychological. What the infant say, what they are called psychological, what they are called now, so we keep on our resource.
David Baba, they are called psychological.
Okay. Okay, yeah, the family, you know, the enough, they are pointing on carphones, for example. Yeah, Miss Adonfe. Now, Kaza.
Yeah, Papa, me no me ma resource conflict resource conflict. In the Darfur region of Sudan, there are disputes between nomadic pastoralist herders and settled farmers over livestock migration routes and water holes that have created major wider, cultural, ethnic, and religious conflicts.
Yeah, and I know say clear resources, land, water, resources, and yes, psychological, into what part it. That's and Bajonia, mask, on Casana.
Yeah, but your media overvalues.
If I don't get that, a hospital.
But your me,
okay, because Australia had no share marks in it.
But your me, Australia, or US.
Okay, US, yeah, US, yo, oh, dear, no.
But your media overvalues.
Okay.
Northern Nigeria, the Boko Haram problem, and trying to force some Christians to be adapted into Islamic,
Yeah.
Ama a conflict about abesini air course bebre.
Yeah.
And we one factor was a conflict over values.
Yes, that's excellent. It's a very serious conflict in Africa on religious grounds, expanded to nations, leading to destruction of property and life. And that's a clear example. What was what passing? The next person.
Yeah. But then that one for passing there. I'm also giving an example on resources, conflict over resources, and mine is on water bodies. Like water bodies such as oceans, seas, lakes, and rivers can also be linked to conflict due to their role in transportation, development, and culture. Usually, these water bodies, they have we get income from them, like fishes and that of oil. So people.
And can you cite any example?
Yeah.
Can you cite any example?
Yeah, but I think I wrote about in the southern China Sea, there is a conflict there as a result of what they are fighting about.
That's fine. It is not just enough to say, sir, ensuing from to make also conflict. No way just saying, what's it? But if you can land by now, giving an example of a possible incident where that thing has happened, and no amount of full marks into a year's work go to South China Sea. Oh, what pass? But me na me boa once and I will pass it. Center, we not half mark.
Me the one can't say me say my pass you.
Me chiefy resources called psychological.
Me patcho enwa.
Okay, there is a 10 kakra because.
Papa just me fafu from bra na.
Fafu from bra. And you
discrimination. Under values.
Okay.
like what is happening in the US now, people are being discriminating against because of the color of their skin. And also, yeah, so that is under values.
Okay, and what are the blacks standing for?
They are standing for equality. They should be treated as how their fellow whites are being treated, not to be discriminated against because of the color of their skin.
Okay. Kakame, what can you say? It is not a religion. It is not ideology. It is, my friend said, values. Values, and concept of values. It is almost impossible for you to move someone from one side to the other. But meaning, and it's all kind of, the blacks are blacks. They will never want to be white. Yeah, and also but who musician be a black but to me a no white compare white for nose a tini abrofo dear meaning man so akwangwa ase nanso the Brazil 14 na esi won so and it's like a moving towards what in America now say.
Baba, let me ask a question. What is where is ethical issues considered under the sources of conflict?
Yeah, that's a very, very nice question. Ethical issues, I will place them under psychological because somebody's right. Don't say, Obi or say me homosexual, I need to have my right. But you can talk the person over for the person to even abandon his homosexuality to become a Christian who will not want to go that way again. Or in America, say blacks and we, ethics. But there are some blacks who wish to be like whites and they dress like whites. And Michael Jackson even changed his skin to be like white. Some of you are aware.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Papa.
Yeah, in values, the person is entrenched in where he is, and nothing will move him to go to the other side. Because of course, this is what I live for and I will die for. This is my stand. This is my value. I am black and I'm born black. I will die black. These are my futures. Between me saying the city, my skin saying the city. But Oka said, I am black, I will die black. I was born black. Now the Brazil 10 years with this one. Who said we'll compromise? Now the for Pakistani for eyelids Ataru were near here. And what we are trying to say is that in value there, it is almost impossible for you just even at the point of death, the person will say, I will not change. These are my values. And let's put that under psychological issues of.
Hey, Papa.
Ben, c'est la one pass you.
Oh, man, pass it. Papa, you have to consider.
Okay, you will consider next week.
Papa, me support me name. Me support me name. Na mama ba.
Try. You are citing very good example. Until next week, we'll finish. But then I will still give you people opportunity, those who haven't answered, to answer something. I want something on record, sir. You participated and you were able to pass this oral examination. The skills to be able to resolve conflict. For Jesus Christ, Amen.
Amen.
Papa, mbacho email I had best send.
Okay. Mo pe me email there. Ayete-Nyampong.
I thought the mark coordinator would be mine.
Okay, your next answer met me so actual met me actual coming to chat and answer chat to everybody. Okay, Mr. Dunfe, achieve the Bama now, dear Mon.
Okay.
Yes. Once again, I'm sorry for coming late because of the update.
Papa, so what exactly do we do? Do we continue all the three, or what we've done is just enough?
The one examples.
Yes.
You do all the three, but choose one of your best answers.
Okay.
To share already because of time factor.
Okay.
Why? Do all the three, but choose one. In the Abasa me demand they say, okay, time did not permit us to listen to be and forwarding the dimra. Then you have something to forward.
Okay.
Right.
Baba, please, are we submitting something to you on this assignment?
Why? Do you want it submitted or you want to respond orally from your answer?
No, we want to respond orally.
Papa, please let me come in, please.
Yes.
The challenge is that Papa would have to award marks. So that in order not to say, Papa, Mommy say, me can't say, no, Mommy say, no. Well, let us do what we usually do.
Yeah.
Okay. Present to him and he will award the marks. Yeah. And then we'll be able to transfer them onto your grading sheet.
Yeah.
Because he has 70 marks in his hands. So please do it well.
In Tidanka, we know one first part. You will next week. Remember when we are best submit your mommy.
Okay.
But now we know yet to say a discussion, their participation in discussions, and also me award a little marks be. Then next week assignment, I'm on the bar award another marks outcome.
Okay.
Because I wanted the class to be active, everybody participating, being able to answer questions.
Okay. So, Papa, please, what happened when all of them are not able to present theirs?
Yes, I don't think American said, and then now one to me, and then remember was selected one per no post to be ability.
That's fine.
But next week assignment, the full assignment, and no award 3/4 of the marks, but we know your participation, and so me person me award marks kakra, just to encourage. Next time we call class try to be active and answer questions.
Okay.
Until next week, remember on the real 3/4 assignment,
Okay. 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 Thank you so much. Thank you.
God bless you.
I'm sure everyone is answered.
Now, Papa, just a clarification regarding next week's assignment. Is that something we will take away, do and submit, or it will be during the class?
Oh no, not during the class.
Okay.
You'll take away and do it and let me have it so that I can mark and award the final marks.
Okay.
Okay.
That way.
Yeah. Thank you, Papa.
Active participation in class.
Okay, so Papa, then I'll plead that within the next 2 days, if the assignment can be ready. So that I forward to them.
Exactly.
And then they can.
Forward it to Royal Papa.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yes, so that when we break them, they will have the break time to rest and. Me kasama mo me sena mo me body no me kasama mo.
We have the questions. Yes. It's not that. Yeah, it's just practical.
Please, a question, please. Papa, please, could you send the question from Reverend Nanaya to us, please?
Is it a different thing?
At the moment, sign off. Why?
Are you done with Reverend Doctor? Are you done with him so that you can?
Yes, please.
Okay, you are done. Are you done? Yes. So if you are done, let me sign off from YouTube so that you can also go and refer. All right. So thank you so much. Let me sign off.